Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. Have the left parties damaged their credibility by their behavior? That's the key issue I shall raise today with the General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, A.B. Bardhan. Mr. Bardhan, the left parties have failed to stop the Indo-US nuclear deal going further, and you've lost whatever influence you had with the UPA government. I put it to you, this is a double whammy against yourselves.
We might have lost our influence with the UPA government, but that we have won the hearts of Indians. We may have lost the vote, the trust vote.
You really believe you've won the hearts of the Indian people?
I not only believe it, I believe it very strongly.
All right, let me question that. I put it to you that not only have you lost in terms of the double whammy, what's even worse from your standpoint is you've squandered your reputation for integrity and you've badly damaged the belief that the left is a party that pays attention to the etiquette, conventions and decorum of parliament. Those were two qualities that distinguished you from other parties. Now you've been reduced by your own failure to the level of everyone else.
Ethical is it? That win in parliament of Manmohan Singh is perhaps the most unethical thing that ever happened.
That's an allegation.
What is
That's an allegation.
That is something which is known to everybody in this country.
It hasn't been proven. That's an allegation. It's an aspersion. You have no facts. You have no figures to back it up.
I have everything you see. You might have seen how many abstentions. You might have seen how many cross-voting. And mind you, not one of these is because of the love of the politics.
Let me come back.
Because they believe in that.
Let me come back to the left.
All
and in
that has been due to horse trading.
CPI. The number of times in interviews you've told me that one of the greatest qualities of the left is their integrity. And what did you do? You yourself personally endorsed Mayawati as a potential future Prime Minister of this country, a woman against whom there are gross and deeply worrying charges of personal corruption.
I think, you see, that this is born out of your prejudice, an elitist prejudice against a Dalit woman who has done good for her country. Who has done good for herself.
Let me quote figures given by Mayawati herself when she stood in 2004 for the Akbarpur Lok Sabha constituency. She declared her wealth as 1.66 crore. 3 years later, when she stood for the UP Vidhan Sabha, her wealth had gone up by her own admission to 52 crore, an increase of over 3,100%. Do you believe it's legitimate?
It's not a question of legitimacy.
Then what is it a question of?
You are talking about wealth that has been accumulated. Every single man you see in this bourgeois politics is a man of crores.
But not every single man is endorsed by A.B. Bardhan. Mayawati was.
But then, you see...
You're endorsing a woman whose wealth went up by 3,100% in 3 years flat.
Her people pay her.
Her people...
She's an icon amongst her people.
Her people pay her.
But then I'm not discussing Mayawati.
Mr. Bardhan.
But I'm really...
Pause a moment. Pause a moment.
No,
you know the
I'm
explanation Mayawati gives? Let me put the explanation.
Yes,
she says that she made her money through 5 and 10 rupee donations given by lakhs of supporters. Are you telling me that you're gullible enough to believe that?
I not only believe it, but I know it to be a fact.
You're putting aside your judgment when you say that.
I have seen it, you see, in Nagpur, when the Republican Party was there. Dr. Ambedkar was alive.
You mean to say...
And I used to see how the poor used to pay in lakhs.
You're saying to me that people in 3 years have donated in 5 and 10 rupee notes that much money that Mayawati's wealth has gone up by 3,100%.
You see, look here, don't talk in terms of percentage. I do not know...
Why not?
How
Why
many
not?
lakhs
That's the increase. She admits to it.
This is a country now, you see, in which billionaires have come up. And they have come up by all honest labor. Honest labor, you mean to say.
Endorsed by the left for prime ministership. Mayawati was. I'm saying that in doing so, you've damaged your credibility, your integrity.
I tell you, she is the chief minister of the biggest state in this country.
So she should have the biggest income.
She is the one who, after 15 years, when nobody could win a majority in UP, won a majority. Is it because she is corrupt? Or because she has, you see, interacted with her people?
The two don't cancel each other out. She may have won a majority, but she has a personal income she can't account for. Let me put this to you. She calls herself a Dalit ki beti. She doesn't lose an opportunity to use that phrase. The CBI, on the other hand, claim that she has over 7 crore of unaccounted money, over 9 crore of unaccounted fixed assets, over another 9 crore of Benami property.
Will the CBI.
And wait for it. And perhaps she and her family members have
look
over 91 bank accounts.
I think we are not meeting here to discuss Mayawati.
No.
But if you are discussing Mayawati, then I am telling you
It's not Mayawati.
that she has a bigger claim to prime ministership than many of the other
It's your integrity
people.
in supporting her that I'm questioning. You've damaged your reputation for honesty, for probity, for uprightness.
I established my, integrity by connecting, reaching out to that section of the community which is socially oppressed, economically
But why do you have to do so by endorsing a woman against whom charges of corruption are so monumental?
That is the woman.
Are there not other Dalits you can endorse who are honest, who are more in line with your image?
Show me somebody who has that following in this.
You mean to say there's no honest Dalit in your eyesight?
Oh, there are millions and millions
Then
of honest.
endorse one of them. Why Mayawati, who's corrupt?
They are the
or
most,
alleged to be corrupt?
They are the most honest people on earth.
Let me put this to you. You have repeatedly said to me that in politics, Caesar's wife should be above suspicion.
As far as I am concerned.
What then about the candidate you support as a potential future prime minister? Should she not be above suspicion?
May I know those who are being projected as prime ministers?
So if you project a
They
bad
are as
person on the
pure
right,
as white
you
snow.
should project an even worse person on the left.
No, no. I think she is the best person. If you are,
Okay.
if you are going
Let's
to
then
argue
put aside her personal integrity.
yes,
and
that's what I am saying.
allegations
We are
of
not
honesty.
discussing.
Let's come to her
We are not
politics.
discussing.
You say she's
and
the
you
best
mentioned
person.
the CBI.
Let's come.
You mentioned the CBI. It's a political tool that is being used.
It's a tool that she's used 10 times
It's
in
a-
1
it's
year
a tool-
herself to order investigations.
It's a
she
tool
has
and
faith in
nothing
them.
has come.
She has faith in them. She keeps using the
tell me,
CBI for investigations 10
Unfortunately,
times in
I
1
also
year.
mentioned the CBI because that happens to be the highest agency in our country, the prosecuting
You said a moment
and the
ago-
investigative agency.
You said a moment ago she was the best person to be Prime Minister of India. Do you stand by that?
I stand by it.
All right, let's
At
then
the
look at
moment,
her
that is true.
politics.
That is at the moment.
You say at the moment it's true. Let's
Yes.
look at her politics. 3 times she has allied with the BJP to become Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. She has campaigned for Narendra Modi. Surely that is again an association that undermines your commitment to secularism.
Oh, you want to talk about secularism?
I want to talk about you and Mayawati. By
Those who
supporting her,
voted-
you're undermining your secularism, your principles.
Those who voted, you see, in the confidence vote for Manmohan Singh, crossed over from the BJP. One of them happens to be the accused number 8
How is that an
in the
answer to my
Babri
question?
demolition case.
How,
I am saying,
how is that an answer to my question?
you see, if you are going to the court of equity and fair justice, you should go with clean hands. You can't, sup with the devil. You can't sup with the devil and talk about others.
I assume that the left has clean hands. The point I'm making is that in allying with the BJP, with Mayawati, you've dirtied your hands. Worse still, you've undermined your commitment to secularism. She's not only alleged to be corrupt, she's a friend of Narendra Modi. She's been an ally of the BJP.
She is no
3 times.
friend of Narendra Modi.
She campaigned for him.
Oh, you
she
forget all
campaigned for him.
Oh, you forget all that. You see,
Why
who
forget all
campaigned
that?
for what?
Because it's inconvenient?
Oh, many inconvenient things are being forgotten by you, by the way. You people are people with double standards.
But are you
coming from the
opportunistic?
elitist class? You are people with double standards.
But the elite may have double standards. Should the left have them? You never
I
did
don't have.
before. Have you now adopted them yourself?
No. I think in this country, if a new alternative has to be, achieved, this is the beginning that we have made.
So find the lady
At
with
the moment-
worst
at
allegations
the
of
moment,
corruption,
no.
with the worst possible track record on secularism, and promote her to be Prime Minister. That's the way of achieving
The
change.
lady who has the most backing today. Most backing. You will be amazed, you see, when
Mr.
you see
Bardhan,
the results
you
of
know
the
what
next election.
people who hold left values dear, people who look up to the CPI and to you personally will say, they'll say at best his endorsement of Mayawati is opportunism, at worst he's turned his back on his own principles.
I have not turned my back on any principles. I am a man of integrity, and my party, as you know, nobody could knock at the doors of our party for trying to
You know something
bribe
else?
them, you see,
You
in
know
order to
something
vote.
else? You know something else?
Yes.
When you were an ally of the Congress, the reins were in your hand. Now that you are an ally of Mayawati, you're dancing to her tune. Prakash Karat is always the junior person at the press conference. She dominates, he plays second fiddle. So not only have you allied with someone who undermines you, but even in terms of stature, you're reduced to number 2.
I don't know that in orchestra everybody plays the first fiddle.
You're happy to be second.
I'm happy to be second. I don't mind it.
So the left has demoted itself quite happily.
No, I'm not talking of the entire left. But then the left has an identity of its own. She has an identity of her own. And the UNPA, the TDP and all this, they also have an identity of their own.
If this were Hamlet, she looks like the prince, the left look like the second grave digger. That's the level of the unimportance she casts in your direction.
You can go on quoting many things. I can also quote if you like. But then the whole point is that will not lead us to any results as far as India is concerned.
You stubbornly insist that your commitment to Mayawati is in line with left principles, and it doesn't undermine your integrity.
Let me tell you that the lowest point of democracy that was reached in this country was when the victory of those managers of, you see, abstentions and rigging and floor crossing and winning votes.
Quite right. And you
buying votes, all that was done.
And now you're suggesting
and you know full well
that you're trying equally hard to go down to that level by supporting a lady who undermines your integrity and undermines your political principles.
Not one of her could be bought. Not one of ours could be bought. You know that well.
And that's the pact that unites you.
That's the fact that shows our integrity and the fact that we cannot be purchased.
Let's then take a break and let's come back and talk about the second instance that has shattered the faith the Indian urban middle classes had in the left, the expulsion of Somnath Chatterjee and your party's endorsement of it. That's in a moment's time. See you after. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate. In an interview with the General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, A.B. Bardhan. Mr. Bardhan, let's come to the second event that shattered the faith the Indian middle classes used to have in the left. The expulsion of Somnath Chatterjee by the CPM and its endorsement by the CPI. Why did you do this?
What's wrong there?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it.
What's wrong?
I'll tell you. To begin with, the CPM repeatedly said that Somnath Chatterjee had a right to take whatever decisions he thought fit. As soon as he did so, they threw him out of the party. That's contradictory.
You do not know the facts. After all, he was elected on the CPM ticket. When he's sitting in the speaker's chair and functioning as the speaker, we want him to be impartial. There's no doubt about it. And nobody is interfering with that. We may have many complaints, but we are not interfering with that. But you forget that he was elected the speaker at a time when his entire party and the entire left, you see, had extended support to the government. That was one of the points of that support. When that support has ceased to exist, his position became untenable.
Mr. Bardhan,
I say, look here, since you mentioned, this is a matter for the CPIM. It is a party. It has its discipline. It has its party constitution. If somebody disobeys its discipline, it has the right to take action.
I deliberately gave you a chance to answer that fully without interrupting you. I thought it was only fair that people should hear your explanation. Now let me come back and make 2 points to you. To begin with, you know this, that in any parliamentary democracy, it is essential that a speaker does not have imposed upon him the rules and regulations of the party on whose ticket he's been elected. That's the one way of guaranteeing his neutrality. But by insisting on doing just that, the CPM, and you, by implication, because you endorsed it, have not only damaged the institution of the speaker, you've strained Indian democracy. Was that right?
You're forgetting one thing. They did not take any action as far as I know, because they did not vote against the trust motion, which the other party members did. They did not issue a whip to him. They issued a whip to the other 42.
They couldn't have, because he was speaker. So it's a strange case to make that they didn't do something which they couldn't do. Don't make that case. They couldn't issue a whip to him.
Who prevented?
They couldn't issue a whip. He's the speaker. He couldn't have voted except in a tie. So you can't accuse him of not voting the right way and therefore sack him for that.
Which itself shows that they had taken into account the fact that he was the speaker and he was sitting on the presidential chair, the speaker's chair. But you are forgetting that his position had become untenable when his party had withdrawn support.
I'm putting the opposite to you. Therefore, in fact, his position when he became speaker is divorced, except in the most technical sense from the CPM. What they do is their concern.
As far as
what
I
he
know,
does is different. There's no connection.
Here is a question of my hearing from them. As far as I know, they had asked him, therefore, to resign the speakership before the whole trust vote issue came up.
And he did not agree.
And he did not agree. Now, I tell you.
And he has a right not to agree.
Is that so?
And in fact, the CPM said he had a right to take whatever decision he wants.
No, that is what I said.
The CPM said it. Prakash Karat said it.
But he didn't take the decision.
He didn't take a decision they wanted him to take, but you can't say that you can take whatever decision you want, provided it's a decision I agree with.
You are a party member. Look, every party is now expelling all those who defied the party whip.
You know what? The CPM's position sounds like that sort of child slogan. You have a right to your own opinion as long as it's the same as mine. Is that the level to which the CPM
I don't know, you see. You are vulgarizing everything by bringing it down to that. level. Don't do it.
But that's the level at which the argument goes.
He was a member. And this is real hypocrisy, you see, to talk that the speaker is above political parties. There are two people sitting in parliament who are speakers. One of them is the home minister now. And another man, you see, has been the leader of his party.
Mr. Chatterjee wished to set a precedent that was different to that of Shivraj Patil and Manohar Joshi and P.S. Sangma. You should have applauded him for it. By the way, he has already announced that when he ceases to be speaker, he will not seek re-election. So clearly, he's made it abundantly clear that he has no intention of following Shivraj Patil, Sangma and Manohar Joshi. Applaud him for that. Don't judge him by their standards.
I would have judged you. I would have agreed with you if you had condemned those two people first. For having been speakers, having enjoyed the position of speaker, and then come back again, you see, to become ministers and leaders.
This is not a tutu meme between the three of them and Somnath Chatterjee. This is a question of the position of the CPM and yours, because you lost it, and Somnath Chatterjee. You got the wrong position.
That there is a section of elitists who have double standards on everything. They judge the left in one way, they judge others in another way.
But I'm not talking of elitists, I'm talking of the left, and the left making a misjudgment, and a misjudgment which has cost you the faith of the Indian middle classes.
The CPM has taken a decision. I see no reason to differ from that.
In fact, you've endorsed it. You're not just differing, you've endorsed it.
I have said, you see, that I don't think that they had any other option.
Let me put something to you. I want to quote to you Biman Bose, a Politburo member of the CPM and one of that party's most senior members. He says, Chatterjee was following the Indian constitution, but we have to follow the party constitution. Is it fitting that any left party should put its own rules and regulations above the requirements of the Indian constitution? What sort of parliamentary democracy are they practicing?
What sort of, you see, parties are we? You forget, you see, that the very essence of parliamentary democracy is the party system.
The very essence of party democracy is that the speaker is above politics and he is not subject to any party's
Here is a man who was elected by his party.
As
who was
all
nominated by his
have
party.
To be, as all speakers all over the world have to be.
Even as a speaker, he was.
As all speakers at the first instance have to be. You're not saying anything remarkable. You can't become a member of parliament in the Indian system unless you're either an independent.
Did he resign from his party after becoming a speaker? He didn't.
He didn't have to.
Oh, I see.
He didn't have to.
So he
has the choice.
No,
he has the choice.
I do not know why we are discussing these things.
Because people are shattered. Their faith in the left is shattered by this high-handed, arbitrary behavior.
You see, look here. There is someone who, after being in power for more than 4 years on the support of the left, comes out and then says that he felt he was a bonded slave of the left. So now any anti-left thing, any anti-left propaganda will do.
You're deflecting the argument. Dr. Manmohan Singh doesn't feature in this. This is about the left damaging its credibility. This is about the left destroying its reputation.
I do not think that the left reputation depends on what it did to Mr. Chatterjee. I respect him. I respect him as a man, not as a speaker or as a man who has been expelled by the party.
Let me pull back from the tutu meme and put something to you. Millions, maybe tens of millions of young Indians between the ages of 18 and 30 who believe in the left, who believe in your image for cleanness, your image for fair play, and the fact that you abide by parliamentary decorum, look upon the CPM and the CPI. They look upon what you did to Mayawati, they look upon what you've done to Somnath Chatterjee, and they say the party that we had faith in has let us down. You've lowered yourself by your own action.
You see, Karan, your TV, and all of those people who are of this view will be deceived when you see how the young people rally behind us. There is a big campaign that we have launched. You must see, you see what the response to this campaign.
It's the response that may be missing. You can launch whatever campaign you want, but the young won't march with you. Today they're disillusioned.
You will see.
Today they say that these people support allegedly corrupt leaders like Mayawati, and they kick in the teeth good men like Somnath Chatterjee.
Allegedly corrupt. And all the other corrupt, proved corrupt people are sitting there. You see.
You were considered a special party. People looked up to you. Today, by your own actions, you've reduced yourself to the level of any other party. You've lost the halo.
You know why I said
you've lost the shine.
Proved corrupt? Because you forget that the Congress at one time had tried to do the same thing by trying to convert a minority into a majority by all these methods.
Your only defense is to compare yourself to Congress. You were better than them.
No.
Now you're as bad. Mr. Bharathan.
No. You will see what the results are.
All right, let time tell. A pleasure.
Let time tell. Time is not far off.
Thank you very much indeed.